Developed following the end of the Unification War, the ASREV, or Alliance Short-Ranged Enforcement Vessel, is a versatile series of medium-sized gunships used for law enforcement throughout the outer systems by the Union of Allied Planets Navy. Typically based on Alliance Tohoku-class cruisers and planetary installations, these ships are the most numerous vessels in the Alliance Navy today, and are collectively known as gunships. Due to the wide scale of the number of firms producing their own version of the ASREV, exact dimensions, speed, ranges, crew numbers, and firepower are non-existent. However, broadly, the majority of vessels have crews of 4, standard mid-range endurance, 2 main energy weapons, variable payload missile bays, and reasonable sensors. Following the end of the Unification War, the Alliance found itself with an immense area of space to patrol, which its existing fleet of attack ships, corvettes, cruisers, assault ships, and bombers were unsuited to cover due to their short ranges, high per-unit cost, and large crews, being instead developed to achieve and hold space superiority over planets and moons, and then land armies in contested sites. In order to accomplish its new task of internal policing and law enforcement, the Alliance began development of a new series of ships, vessels that would allow the Alliance fleet to operate distant patrols, long-range power projection, and also combat the occasional uprising. The centerpiece for this fleet would be the Tohoku-class cruiser, a massive vessel meant to act as a platform for swarms of gunships, patrol vessels, and corvettes. The ASREVs were developed as one component of these forces, with a few standard models being produced that smaller firms could modify to suit their own local production needs and limitations. The basing location of an ASREV affects how they are used, with ships based on planets, moons, and asteroids being used simply for local area patrol, customs inspection, and law enforcement over their local jurisdiction. Many of these ships mount federal marshals aboard or alliance marshals. Typically, a squadron of such ships would be considered enough to enforce law and order over most planets. When based aboard a cruiser, ASREVs are used for regular patrols of space and trade lanes, with ideally 2 ships, but more often 1, conducting patrols lasting up to 4 days. The ships conduct visual inspections over any other vessels they find during their patrols, scan their IDs, and respond to any calls for assistance they may hear. A popular series of capable and cost-effective little ships, the ASREVs were produced in staggering numbers and saw introduction into service just a few years after the end of the Unification War, proving valuable in quickly establishing Alliance control and superiority throughout the territory of the former independence.